Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. Here at the bottom. Did I get those names right? Yeah, Ellen Dugan, Mark Evans. Website there, llewellyn.com. Feel free to check that out if you'd like to. Freeze frame on any of the information if you need to, of course. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. There's the spelling. There's also websites on the back here. The one I noticed is shewhoisart.com, but if there's anything else you notice you want to check out, just freeze frame and search out what you want to search out, of course. Seems tranquil so far. Tranquil is good. As long as it... Okay. You have the Ten of Wands showing up. And my immediate thought for you was like, if it pays off, I'll put in the work if it pays off. Virgo, the earth signs all together, but Virgo too. If the work produces the desired effect, the appropriate effect, like I put in X amount of work and I get X amount of reward that matches the work, all right, there's a lot to be done, but as long as I reap the benefits of everything I'm going to do, okay, all right. Because you get a lot of work coming up. I'm not really nervous about it. I feel like you're kind of like, well, that happens. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather do something and make the effort worth it than just, hang around and do nothing. That's kind of what I'm feeling from this. I don't see you afraid of the work, nor should you be. Not that I tell people to be afraid of work, obviously, but sometimes people see the Ten of Wands coming in and they're like, oh, that's going to be a hill. I feel like your energy seems to go at this like, yeah, there's another hill. I've been through a few of them, but as long as it produces the desired effect, let's go. I'm ready to go. Let's just start. Let's just get the supplies together and let's just do it. Yeah, you're in a good place with this. You got the Two of Cups. I'm not really getting a romantic feel with this. I know this is a romantic card, but I'm not really getting anything with romance or stuff like that. I'm getting like, I know what I'm getting into, and I'm not expecting an easy ride, but I feel like I've planned for it. It makes sense. Now, there's things in the past that have not gone well, and maybe you're rectifying something from the past. So it's kind of like I have an attic full of half-done projects. This is the point where I'm not only going to finish those projects, but then I'm going to use them the way they were intended. They may not have even been your projects. This is interesting. You might be getting involved in something where other people have half-finished projects or something along those lines. Maybe you're coming into something halfway through. If this is a business situation, it's like maybe there's a project, a couple people have bowed out, and then you're going to get involved in it. And it's kind of like, all right, it's going to take me a minute to get up to speed. Originally, maybe I'm not really excited that I'm starting this halfway through. So I'm like, I don't see really excited about that. But you're like, well, I got to do what I got to do. It's just going to take me a minute to get up to speed. Then once you get up to speed, it's like, all right, as long as I get the benefit, as long as I get what I deserve out of it, okay, then all right. There's something half-finished or something from the past. I keep getting that. That seems to be a big piece of this. So we started off like you're headed towards a lot of work, but again, I don't see you afraid of it. It seems to be a lot about something left unfinished is what I keep getting with this. And when you get pulled into it, again, I don't feel like I like how it's half done. I don't like that I wasn't here for the beginning. I don't like that I'm not the one who started it. But I feel like you're accepting it fairly quickly and kind of like, all right, it's going to take me a minute to sort it out and make sure it works. It's kind of like it's not garbage, but I have to make sure it's the correct quality. There might be some stuff I have to go back and kind of tighten it up, clean it up a little bit, make it look correct, make sure it's clean or whatever. But you're gonna do it. I feel like whoever pulled you in, somebody needs to go, and somebody. You're gonna come and take the place of that because somebody's leaving. And I feel like you're looking at this like, all right, they're leaving. I'm coming in. I also got to figure out why they're leaving. I feel like you're very curious, like, why are they leaving, though? But why? You're dedicated to it, though. I see you going into this kind of like, all right, then I have to do it, then I have to do it. Let me just figure it out. I do see you curious why somebody's leaving. There's a conflict between people. You may not match either of the people the conflict was between, is what I'm getting. These cards don't match. Astrologically, they don't match. You got the Emperor and you got Justice. Justice talks about Libra. Emperor talks about Aries. They're at the opposite sides of the zodiac. They typically don't match. Libra thinks Aries is too harsh. Aries thinks Libra is kind of full of it. It's a weird. So I'm just getting like. It doesn't mean. I feel like it's a very political fight. Whatever's going on here. Nobody's a good. But I don't feel anybody's a good guy or a bad guy. Just to be fair, I just feel like don't get in the middle of it. I feel like you're kind of curious, like why somebody left. I feel like it's a political thing. Kind of like people just decided they couldn't work together anymore. I don't see this being a problem for you. Because I see like both sides can be a little bit too much. I see you. I also see you kind of like, I got work to do. So they can talk about what they need to talk about. I got things to do. I'm going to get what I need done. Virgo usually applies application to the actual work that needs to be done. You don't really hang out to the side and chat away usually. So I feel like, all right, they have an issue. That's their issue. Because I feel like going forward, you might see how that erupts again. Even though somebody left, but it's like after the fact, there seems to be some type of issue after the fact, maybe a blaming game or something. I don't see you getting blamed for anything, but I also get like when this happens later, whoever left seems to be getting blamed for stuff. I don't know. There's the trust coming in. Trust that you don't need to be a part of it is kind of what I'm getting from this. You do not need to know about this. You don't have to burden yourself with it. I feel like you'll hear enough to know that. You'll get little trinkets of information, wherever that goes, and you'll realize, all right, that's between them. That's a problem between them. It's not really the work. It's literally how these people get along. No matter what they're doing, they would probably end up at each other's throats. It's that type of connection. Once you realize that this doesn't have to involve, it doesn't affect the work you're doing, I feel like once you realize that, I assume most of you are going to just disconnect anyway from whatever that is going on here. I highly recommend that if you're not. Because I feel like there's arguing going on, there's people having issues, and I feel like the one that stayed, the one that you have to deal with is going to probably win out on that. We definitely don't want anything to do with that if we don't have to. So like, I would just stay out of it because I feel like there's scattershot afterwards. If you just stay out of it and keep working at what needs to be worked on, I feel like your talent, your ability, your dedication, you're like, I need to get this job done. I'm here to get a good job done. I'm here for a quality job. That speaks loudest for you. There's something with it that I'm not really sure what we're talking about. So I'm gonna get the dice out here. I just realized I didn't take them out of the case. Okay. So let me just pick them up. So for Virgo, Eight of Cups. Can't completely get away from it. But I feel like if you don't know what's going on, people, I feel like they're not going to go overboard trying to explain it to you. You can't totally get away from it, but if you legitimately don't know what's going on, you just know that people are at each other's throats for whatever reason, and you just kind of disconnect. If you legitimately don't know what's going on, I don't think this is going to be a problem. But on the other hand, if you seem to have some intel, be careful of that. If you know stuff, and you try to play it off like you don't know stuff, I'm not sure that's going to go well. I don't know exactly what's going on, because I feel like somebody might be like, well, I told Virgo that, or I told Virgo what was going on, or somebody might throw you under the bus in a way that, like, why do I have to even be on the bus, let alone under it? But, yeah, no, I see, like, if you ask too many questions, or if somebody starts talking when you're around, I would exit. I would try to get away from it, because I feel like somebody's going to say, well, I said it right in front of Virgo, this is what I said, and I told Virgo what this was about. Even though maybe you weren't completely engaged in the conversation, I feel like that's going to come back, and then people are going to have an issue, and like, well, why did you act like you didn't know what was going on, Virgo, blah, 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 blah. And you might flat out say, well, because I don't want anything to do with it. Well, this is your job, and this is a part of this, and you needed to know for that, and blah, blah, blah. They will drag you in. If you know information, they will drag you in. If you legitimately don't know, I feel like they won't take the time to explain it, and you'll get away from it really, really easily. Just be aware of that. If somebody tells you something, or if there's, you know what I mean, I feel like they're going to throw you under the bus and be like, oh yeah, I told Virgo what was going on, so I don't know why they acted like they didn't know what you were talking about, or something like that. Because if you legitimately don't know, you'll be fine. But, just be aware of that. I feel like you've gone through this before. It feels like for the people that's going to matter, I feel like you know what I'm saying. Like, you may not have commented on something, but the fact that you heard it, somebody will say, well, Virgo knows about that. And all you did was hear it. You didn't comment, even though you didn't comment on it. They'll be like, no, Virgo knew about that. Virgo knew. And then it goes into a whole nother thing. So, like, walk away. When people are talking, this is, like, literally you want to walk away. So you can legitimately say, I don't know what's going on there. And if somebody asks you, like, why did you walk away from those conversations? Because it wasn't involving the direct work I was doing, so that was your business, that was not my business. I don't insert myself in other people's business. Bam. Done. Because I feel like they won't have anything to say to that. I can't guarantee that. But I feel like that most of them won't. They'll be like, oh, well, that makes sense. And then you can just keep going and let your work speak for itself. There's a little bit of a hubbub going on there, but if you legitimately don't know, let me say it for the 50,000th time, you'll be fine. All right, I'm going to shut it down here because I'm just going to say it 5 more times. So thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.